close enough to 10 o'clock. Good morning, everybody. This is Joe from the Black Rock Central Railroad. What I plan on doing here is just kind of give you a video tour of the layout. There's been some new stuff added. Old stuff has been changed around a little bit. I planned on using the shaky cam for this, but I decided against that after playing around with it for a while. So I'm on the tripod. Hopefully y'all won't get too sick, because I will have to move the tripod a little bit to get the complete layout in here. We're just going to move along, starting at the diesel service area and my small yard, and then just work our way completely around the layout and come back and ending at the refinery. Like I say, hopefully I don't make y'all too sick, but let me get my butt behind the camera and get this thing started. I will not be able to see the chat from where I'm at, so if you come on, just assume that I have said hello to you, and we'll all get along fine. So hang tight a second and let me get behind the camera. For anybody that might be interested, that area right there is a drop-down section. But once I set things up, I just use a mechanic's stool and crawl underneath. It's a lot easier than raising and lowering that each time. So let me get us turned around here and we'll get started on this tour. This right here is the diesel servicing area, comprised of a pike stuff kit, a Walther crane, a sand tower that was actually a prize that I won off of Michael McCarville's channel quite some time ago. I do have a very modest 3-track storage yard where I can shuffle the cars around a little bit. Also in this area is a small car shop. The one track that you can see in the background here a little bit, this one here has just been added. That's going to be an interchange track. The Black Rock Central interchanges with the Chessie system. So Chessie can come in, drop cars there, pick cars up there, and continue on its merry way to somewhere else in the world. Now, here's one of the cases where we pick the tripod up and move the tripod a little bit. This here is going to be part of my maintenance of way yard. Nothing but a couple of trucks in here with cranes and some spare ties laying around right now. My sole form of passenger transportation on the Black Rock Central is this single RDC car. It runs on a separate track. It's a little on the hairy side of trying to run both units at the same time, this one here and the freight train, due to the entrance crosses the main for the freight train. So if you're not careful, yeah, you can have some crashes there. So far, that hasn't happened, but anything's possible down the road. In addition to the RDC car, we also have a scenic railroad, which has its own station and several cars just sitting as a almost like a museum. Let me get moved around here a little bit and we will refocus on this area. My Scenic Railroad is powered by an old Bachmann Shay, which the DCC sound module kind of crapped out on it, but it does still run on DC, but a new Digitrax module will be forthcoming. Main line comes around and enters what I call the Mccormick Industrial area. This is where most of my switching operations are done. We have a Walthers grain elevator. What has been added to this are the additional silos to the left of the main tower. They are nothing but 2-inch PVC pipe that was cut down, painted, and all glued together. It can handle 3 cars on the loading track and 3 on the spare track next to it. Next to that is just a building that I chopped down. This was a Walthers gas company. I bought this kit only because I wanted the tanks that came with it. The tanks are used over in the refinery area, which I will show that later on when we get around there. Sparky tells me that I should name that building the Sparky Sparklers, as in a fireworks warehouse. That's possible. Next in line is Evergreen Bread Company. Kind of a bakery, another Walthers kit. You'll find that most of my kits on here are all Walthers kits. Next in line is the newest building, which I've added on here. This took the place of a R.J. Frost Company cold storage building. This was going to be an entrance or an entry into the Blackjack scratch build contest. What he was calling a scratch build kit bash contest. However, I found out that what my plans were did not coincide with what his rules were. So I had to come up with something different. But I still completed the building as is. This was the railway post office, where you see the large rectangles there behind the windows or next to the windows were all windows that I have bricked over with brick sheet. Also added the cupboard loading area in there for it. Picking up and moving again, bear with me. Next in line is a combination of 2 of Walthers' background buildings, but I just put them together and came up with a larger building, American Hardware Company. Next in line are just a couple of background flats, which I've picked up over the years and just kind of add in here as we go. Next is one of my larger, well, I won't say it's a large industry, but it does take up a little bit of room. This is my General Plastics company. This too is a combination of Walthers kits, plastic pellet transfer facility. I believe this was the GW printing company, which is now my manufacturing spot. It takes the plastic pellets, adds a little bit of chemicals to them, and makes plastics for the model railroad industry. We make styrene sheets, we make styrene shapes, and ship them all out to the various hobby shops. Next, we come to the, well, first we'll stop here at this little hole in the backdrop. This is a new addition. I'm adding a staging yard in the background, which will be behind the cement plant, which once all the background gets put in, you won't even see it. But that's where all my chassis locomotives and trains will originate from. Probably the largest industry that I have on here is my cement industry. This comprises 3 or 4 different Walthers kits. Not only does it store the powdered cement, but we also have tanks in the back that store lime for helping make the cement. We have gravel silos because it all gets added together. Heated up, turned into bag cement, and will also be turned into concrete block, which is what that pike stuff building there on the end does, is turn it into concrete block. Eventually I'll have concrete block pallets or pallets of concrete block sitting on the outside to where pick up either by freight car or picked up on flatbeds. We now come to the town of Black Rock. This particular station here is the Black Rock station. The Scenic Railroad stops there, and also the RDC car. Try to pan this around here a little bit so you can see the town. Every town should have a fire station. Here again, these are all Walthers kits. Try something here and see if I can't raise this up a little bit to where you can see the lumberyard. This is a combination of one Walther's Lumberyard kit and the old Atlas Lumberyard, which I've had for more years than I want to recall. This building here, I believe, was the Walther's fireproof storage. Kind of an odd shaped building, but fits in there rather nicely. That's what I believe I'm calling American manufacturing. What they manufacture is the plastic bags and paper bags that are used over at the plastics company. Consequently, the freight car that is seen here will actually be taken out of here and goes over to the plastics company for loading and unloading. We have a small residential area right now. Only 5 houses in here, but there is room for expansion. Time to move again. Bear with me. I'm trying to do this nice and slow so as not to make anybody too sick. The trees that you see on this layout are a combination of some of woodland scenics, which are mainly the pine trees. The large, very nice trees are provided by long shadow trees. I bought HO and O scale trees, or N scale trees from him, and very impressed with his work. I will be ordering more, as there is quite a bit of area that still needs more trees on here. Not all the landscaping has been done. This particular area here with the bridge is where the passenger train and Scenic Railroad pass over the freight line. And this area is my drop-down area. I kind of played around with different areas where I could change this to be a lift out, but because of the scenery and the way it all came together, there was no way I could make this a lift out. So then I thought maybe a swing out, but I ran into the same problems of track alignment and everything else. So it's just a drop down section. which, as far as I'm concerned, works pretty good. Like I say, I can get under it without any trouble. I just kind of roll myself underneath of it. Now over to the largest of the industries. This is actually larger than my concrete plant. And this is a combination of a lot of different kits and other building ideas. This is my refinery area. This is the loading and unloading area. This will be changed eventually. I want to get rid of these 3 platforms and put the newer style platforms in. I think they'll look a little bit better. And then I'm going to add a separate section. One of these tracks is actually going to become a fully unloaded area. Our storage tanks here are a combination of 2 Walthers kits and several pieces of PVC pipe that have been cut up. The truck loading area there is also a Walthers kit. And at nighttime, this is pretty well lit up with spotlights and other LED lights of different shapes and sizes. We have the addition of a couple of Walthers piping kits that were added to the refinery area just to try to make it look a little busy. The refinery itself is 2 kits. Kit number 1 and kit number 2. I decided that 1 just wasn't enough, and I needed to drive myself crazy by building 2 of these instead of just 1. Although some of you might know, I also built a 3rd one for Jack Jack's chemical plant. I'm getting pretty good at putting those damn things together. I mentioned before that I had used some tanks from the Walthers Gas Company. That's what a lot of these are, along with more sections of PVC pipe and additional piping kits to get all of this piped together. That is a basic tour of the Black Rock Central Railroad. We're back to where we started. So hopefully you enjoyed that. I've been promising to do this for a while and finally got around to doing it. I'll probably do another one maybe next month after I've added a few more odds and ends. Not sure what all can be added yet, but I will be doing some more on here. And for all of those who did join, like I said, I couldn't see the chat. I can see the chat now. So I would like to thank everybody who did join in here. Seems like quite a few of you anyway, so that's always nice. At least 10 of you are in here. I do thank you. I do hope you enjoyed it. And the next time we may just have a train running around here too. Right now I haven't cleaned the track up for a while yet. After doing a little bit of scenery work over there by the yard, the track got kind of dirty and I haven't had a chance to really clean anything yet. So hopefully I will go back through here and read the chats, and I will try to get back to you if you had any questions or anything else. Hope y'all enjoyed this, and we will catch you all later on. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.